Short segment here to talk some Major League Baseball. So we want to get to some of these games that really matter at this point and have some angles on the postseason. We're going to start at 6:40 p.m. Eastern, 9:01, 9:02. That's the Chicago Cubs and the Cincinnati Reds. You saw yesterday the Reds at home, a great pitching performance by Hunter Green. Imanaga will be on the mound for the Chicago Cubs today, going up against Nick Lodolo. A slight favorite towards the Cubs in a total that's listed at 8.5 across the board. The Reds desperate for every single victory that they can get to try to make a wild card playoff spot. When the Cubs look like they're already locked in, won't be able to win that division. What happens today for the Cubs and the Reds, in your opinion?
Well, they're going to have to get some. They're going to have to give Lodolo here an opportunity to play from in front, and they are in a battle here with the Mets for that final wild card spot. So they're going to need to bring some offense. The Reds. They scored, again, one run there, which was hysterical, Donnie. Just one run, but that usually means they've got a 9, 10, or 11 run game somewhere coming up. But I don't quite trust either offense here. I think the total under 8.5 here. I think the public's going to want to push it up and over at the Great American Small Park. I think under might be the better way to go. The Cubs, not a lot to play for. The Reds, they could get a little tense here tonight and maybe not score as many as they should.
And by the way, over the summer, you might have been paying attention to the Detroit Tigers. Like, yeah, of course they're going to win the division. They'll be in the playoffs, maybe even the favorites to win the World Series or at least the American League. If you haven't been paying attention, man, there is a free fall going on in Detroit where that lead is down to 3.5 games because, one, Cleveland won't lose, and two, Cleveland kept on beating the Detroit Tigers. Well, today, Atlanta's going to take the field. They're just playing spoiler right now. And Elder's really a bad pitcher, but not lately at this point. He's actually been on his P's and Q's. Charlie Morton gets the start for the Tigers. And this goes to show you, Morton is at home with the Tigers in first place at a -120 price. The pressure is starting to build for the Tigers. They need to bounce back in the biggest way, but I don't have a lot of confidence in them right now, Joe.
Well, you can't. They can't hit. They're back to that. The starting pitching, I mean, if you can't win Skubal starts or Flaherty starts or my starts, which you didn't, you get swept by the Guardians. Oh, yeah, by the way, you've got the Braves who would love to play spoiler the rest of the way. This is their last homestand, Donnie. You know who they have after this? The Cleveland Guardians for 3 games in Cleveland. So you think maybe they're tightening up a little bit? I mean, Charlie Morton hasn't gone more than 4 innings in any of his last 3 starts. He's walking guys. He's 100 years old. And you mentioned it, though. You got to love Bryce Elder. He had 4 quality starts in a row, and then he got shellacked against Houston last time out. So which version do we get here tonight for Atlanta? Can't trust Detroit.
Yeah, exactly. Can't trust them here. Also, Arizona on their last legs in life support here to try to make an NL wildcard spot. The Phillies, as we know, have clinched the playoffs, have clinched their division, but still trying to track down the Brewers. I don't know if that's going to be the case. Taijuan Walker's on the mound. Sometimes he is hit or miss, but Ryan Nelson, interesting choice here for the Diamondbacks. He's been very good at home this season, and you look at them as a slight favorite over the Philadelphia Phillies at a -120 price and a number listed between 9 and 9.5. I do think that's the right side and the right team that's favored here with Arizona. And I'm a big-time Phillies fan. I'll root for the Phillies, hope they win. I just think the Diamondbacks might be the better play tonight out there in the desert, Joe.
Yeah, and we could see a Walker Buehler piggyback start here with Walker. It sounds like the Phillies might be mixing and matching their way through the end of the regular season. Arizona's using a 4-man rotation right now. They have been for the last couple of weeks, just they're using their 4 best guys in order to be able to try to win as many games as possible. I do give the edge to Arizona at home with a whole lot more to play for, and they certainly have an advantage on the hill here between Walker and Buehler, who is what may very well be a combination that not a lot of Philly fans are going to love here.
Yeah, let's see if the bats come to play tonight for the Snakes and see if they can win and try to hang around that playoff race for at least another day. Another team looking to hang around the playoff race is the Giants. They lost last night to the Los Angeles Dodgers. We thought that game would stay under, and it stayed way under. But tonight, maybe some history. Clayton Kershaw's last start for the Los Angeles Dodgers. They are a favorite at close to a -162 here to -168 to -175, depending where you're shopping. And by the way, that number jumped from a -136. Is this nostalgic betting that we're getting going against Robbie Ray, where Robbie Ray just stinks, and everyone's like, yeah, he stinks. I'm betting on the Dodgers tonight.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, Kershaw has played 18 Major League Baseball season, 60 starts, I believe, alone against the Giants. 27-16, I believe, is his record. He has dominated them in his career. And boy, oh boy, is it going to be electric there with this announcement coming out yesterday. So, hey, I got no problem. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's owned him his career. He's probably going to own him one more time before it's all said and done.
And you know what? I love this. I love this for one reason here, where the player himself is like, well, I could just retire. Like when it's all said and done, I had enough. No, the fans want to see you there. Get the emotion out there. It's not a game where it's like, oh, if we lose, I can't believe we just started Clayton Kershaw because he wanted his moment. It's the perfect night to do that against your hated division rival. The people will show up, whether he goes 5 innings, 2 innings, 6 innings, bad performance or great performance. I love the fact that it's like, you know what? Clayton's hanging him up at the end of the season. I got to get out there and see him pitch tonight. You're going to get big-time ratings out there for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Minnesota and Cleveland. Now, we just talked about Detroit collapsing. The team helping them collapse is Cleveland. Now, what you can't do, Joe, is handle your business against the Tigers, then go lose to a Minnesota team that's dead in the water and Pablo Lopez on the mound. But however, Messick's on the mound for Cleveland. It's a pick'em game. Come on, Cleveland. We need to see some action in the final week of the season with a possible massive collapse for the Tigers. Can they do it tonight?
Well, the only team worse than the Tigers down the stretch has been the Twins. I mean, they've lost 12 of their last 16 games this month here, Donnie. It is not good, but, nothing to lose. Young guys playing. The Guardians, though, red hot here. It's kind of hard to go against them. Even with Lopez on the mound, still give the Guardians the leg up here against that bullpen of Minnesota in this game as well.
Wouldn't that be something? By the way, we just saw one of those type of series like, hey, look at the upstart Rangers. They can take down the Astros. They got swept. Like, yeah, it was a fun season. Have a good time. I need to see Cleveland play well this weekend. Detroit slip up and be like, you know what? If Cleveland takes 2 out of 3 from Detroit next week, they're actually going to win the division. Unbelievable.
Crazy.
But as they say, that's baseball. One more segment to go next. Best bets are on the way. Sling it, Joe. Sling it, Joe. What do we got tonight? Where are we looking to go?
What, Donnie? Listen, if it ain't broke, we're not going to fix it here. I think you got a couple of things going on. One, I love this pitching matchup between Boston and Tampa here today. Boston offensively a little bit challenged lately here, Donnie. Once they lost Roman Anthony, it's kind of fallen to pieces. Runs are hard to come by. They got to go to Tampa now and take on Rasmussen. They're in a battle here with the Yankees to try and at least maintain that third wild card spot here or even catch them. Feels like this is going to be a tough one. When you got Crochet on the mound, I'm not trusting Tampa to get a ton of runs. And with Rasmussen on the mound, I'm not trusting the Red Sox to get a ton of runs. So to me, Donnie, this is all about an under 70.5. Both these teams could be pressing a little here with both of their number one guys on the mound tonight. I'm looking at the under here.
Under 7.5 for Joe. For me, I'm going to go out to the deserts, and I'm taking the Snakes. Now, wait a second, Donnie. You love the Phillies. You can't. Come on now. When money is more important than fandom, I can root on the Philadelphia Phillies, but you can still have the correct side. I'm taking the Arizona Diamondbacks tonight on the money line as a slight favorite at -120. You take a look at Ryan Nelson on the season at home. 75 and a third innings pitched, Joe. How about his ERA to 2.51? Now, I don't love ERA, but most people look at that as a baseline metric. How about his xFIP number? Very manageable, 3.63. What we typically get out of a performance of a Taijuan Walker is your best guess. I know I'm going to probably get a solid performance out of Ryan Nelson. I'm going to ride the Diamondbacks, who are fighting everything they can to make it into a wild card, which I probably don't think they're going to get. But the Phillies have clinched. They're probably settling into their number 2 seed in the NL. I'm going to take the Snakes over my beloved Philadelphia Phillies on the money line tonight. Look at that, Joe. No bias. Sometimes you got to bet against your favorite team. It's the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have, it's so funny, right? You got Taijuan Walker going there. You got Walker Buehler probably coming in right after that. So right now, the Phillies are just trying to eat up as many innings as possible, Donnie, and get to the postseason. So Arizona at home with Nelson on the mound, I think that's a great bet at that price.